Hey everyone, Ken Hoover here, class of 1992, the Waverly Wolverines. Just wanted to give my condolences to Cindy and the entire McClough family for the loss of an amazing man. I also want to just take a second and thank them for sharing Coach with so many of us for so many years. My guess is he made a much bigger impact in many, many people's lives than the family could have ever realized at the time. I also want to say that I understand the time commitment that he put in. I am someone that also followed in his footsteps a little bit and became an educator, a teacher, a coach, a school administrator, did that for 18 years. And as I became an adult and started spending so much of my time with other people's families and missing out on things with my own family, I think that's when I began. I think Mike Collins mentioned this a couple days ago in a post, but it's when I really began to realize the sacrifices that my coaches had were putting in when I was growing up. So I also want to just talk a little bit about when I was young and looking forward to becoming part of the Waverly Wrestling program, even going back to as far back when I was a Saya grappler and just a very young man, and looking at the Waverly program and going into that gym and seeing the atmosphere that had been created and watching guys like the Swaggers and Jim Howie and Scott Sullivan and Tommy Kingston and Doug Schaefer and Sean Welch and all those guys. And my favorite to watch was Travis Noki. I loved watching him and the intensity that he battled with. And I couldn't wait to become teammates with many of those guys, and I was fortunate enough to do that. But the one thing that I realized is that building a program like that doesn't happen by accident. And I realized when I got there that although Coach demanded excellence of everyone and demanded that everyone gave their all, it was very clear that he also understood that everyone walked into that room with different gifts and different talents. And he didn't try to make everyone wrestle the exact same style or wrestle, to the exact same level. He understood that everyone had different limitations and different strengths and weaknesses. And he was very gifted at tapping into those and allowing us to all maximize, the outcomes that we could get with the talents that we had when we came into the room. So with that, I just want to say with a very heavy heart, again, I am very sorry for your loss. But I also want to say thank you again for sharing him with us. Because I will tell you, as a 46-year-old man sitting here and a father of two, who has figured out how to navigate this world and be successful, I really think that I owe a lot of that to Coach McClough and the other coaches that I had at Waverly. But really, when I was growing up, in a divorced home and a lot of things going on around me, I will tell you that I don't feel like I would be where I am today if it weren't for lessons that I learned from my coaches, especially Coach McClough, who, could be firm, but he also understood that, second chances were important, and he worked with guys when they made mistakes. So I thank you for sharing him with us. And the one thing I will never forget about Coach is even though he was intense and strong, and if you had to wrestle with him because you were coming into the wrestling room late after detention, he had that death grip, and if he got a hold of you, you were not getting free. Even with all of that, the thing that I remember is he could be super intense one moment, and then he had that little giggle that just amused us all when he would let it out. And again, I'm sorry for your loss, and I hope that I get to see many of you in November when I come back up to Waverly. Take care.